welcome.
Welcome.
We're hitting it. Take
Woohoo.
2. In fact, we're like take 32, but it's all right. Shout outs before we get in. Okay, Batchwell Kombucha. They gave me a shot. It sounded weird on the phone. Right?
Perfect for you then.
You know what I mean? They're like, you know what? I kind of like it. They had no idea what I was saying. I'm talking to people on the phone. People don't understand what I say on the phone. People don't understand what I say.
It's the accent.
In person. Well, what else is it going to be? The shoes.
Maybe.
The accent. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Anyway, we've literally just tried it. We smashed it open. Still fizzy. Fermented as hell.
Spritzed everywhere. All over the floor, over the couch.
I'm not complaining.
It's good to know for the podcast, though, that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Maybe I just slowly open them.
Pre-open them.
Yeah, slowly. But it's phenomenal. I like it. I told you, it's a bit of a right.
Refreshing.
I'm about it. I do love a kombucha.
I do love raspberries.
There we go. Boom. And then we got a bit of coffee made by yours truly. And was spotted by Pure Sports Nutrition. Beautiful people. Absolutely beautiful.
Get it?
I know them all. Legends.
I don't know them all, but
we go way
legends.
back. You know, we know each other since rate high. So, and then, I mean, technically you're going to be sponsoring everything. Look what's behind you.
Yeah, I know.
Who did that?
Elephant in the room.
Literally.
That's
Kind
not
of.
an elephant.
Well, there's a phoenix.
That's not the phoenix. That's the phoenix.
I know, I'm looking at the phoenix.
Oh, see, I have to really make an effort to get back there.
Do you want to tell us about it?
So this was... I feel like this is almost a year in the making, really, from when I first met you.
Yeah.
Alex reached out and was like, yo, hi, I need an artist. And I was like, yo, I'm an artist. And we were going to do something based off one of the poems for Somewhere in the City in Christchurch, which, hold on, should still hopefully be arriving at some point. But when Alex said that he was taking the studio on, I was like, oh yeah. And so, this was only a month ago. I put this up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, probably 3 weeks, maybe tops.
Yeah, and just came in here and I sat on the damn floor and tried to figure out what on earth to put on this wall. And a lot of it was taken from the name to an extent, using, I guess, nomadic philosophy and doing some research into that. I managed to incorporate something out of my brain, and there's a journey and taking up through a stingray, which are known for their migrations, and basically we're all trying to find our way some way or another. And yeah, just keep going on that path and you'll get somewhere. And then the labyrinth is fully workable, just in case Alex gets particularly stressed during a podcast. The idea of a labyrinth is basically that it is a kind of a meditative journey, in the simple fact that it's not like a maze and has wrong turns that you can take off. It's just one simple journey, but it's kind of long and longer than needed. But it's a chance to just breathe. And that comes out into my very messy mandala sun, which I have taken on this philosophy with my art nowadays, that I try to leave everything a little bit unfinished, quite intentionally. Because I think so much of life we get caught up in trying to get that last kind of 20% of the job done. Not that I want to leave everything on an 80% mark, but I think we can get way too caught up trying to finesse things and actually miss out on the journey. And, you know, what was the quote I said the other day? 20% of your effort takes 80% of your time, or something like that. And that I could have sat here for another 2 weeks and finessed it all and measured out mathematically, and I was like, no, I just want to put something on the wall. And I want to put something on the wall that feels good and represents something. And then the phoenix that Alex was referring to is the little Easter egg, because we were talking about putting a phoenix somewhere else in the room, but it's limited on where we could.
And that's obviously my kitty, right?
Yeah.
My best friend, the little cat. She's gonna make an appearance.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring her in.
She can come on a podcast?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm here for that. Can I be on that podcast?
Yeah, 100%.
I still haven't met your cat. And I've literally heard more about your cat in the time I've known you, I think, than anything else, frankly.
That's all I talk about.
It is, pretty much. And so, Phoenix is a wee ode to it, and just this figure, making the journey. And it was a pretty cool cool experience. I definitely went through a couple of days of hating it. Absolutely hating it. Sitting on the floor, ripping my own hair out. Not that I have much of it. And just not enjoying what I created. But then with all things in art and anything that you create, I kind of came back the next day and I did actually fix up the labyrinth a bit and just straightened it up, which just helped my brain settle, and tidied up some things and stood back and spent a good 15 minutes kind of figuring out where I wanted different shading, and then got it to a place when I left it I was stoked. So yeah, I was pretty grateful to have this opportunity to paint this for you.
Mate, I fucking love it. Right.
I should hope so.
All I wanted was something to come out of your brain. You know, I mean, I just said, do your thing.
Yeah,
Put something on my wall.
I think for me, because the last big mural I did kind of disheartened my artistic practice a little bit, because I didn't quite get to express my own style of art. And it's really beautiful, and I'm grateful for that opportunity, even if it was a really hard one, and I've had to do a lot of reflection on that one. But this one, I fully got to just come in and just vomit shit from my brain. And like, let the flow happen. Initially it was going to be very black and white, and then these colors came through, and I'm a big ocean freak, which is how the stingray kind of came to light. I wanted something to represent, you know, and something to tie to the rest of my art, and that's where the colors came in. And yeah, I think it's actually set me on a really interesting path since I finished it for what I've been able to create and like push myself to do, which is, you know, pretty exciting.
Fuck, that warms my heart, man. You know,
don't get too warm.
What? Well, like I'm pissing myself again? Not again. Didn't happen.
No, just earlier. That bloody booch.
Sometimes it goes straight through you, you know?
Sometimes.
I'm wearing my penguin socks for you as well.
Penguin socks?
Yeah.
What's my association with penguins?
I don't know. They're kind of like dinosaurs, but my dinosaur ones have a shitload of holes in them, man. Like a shit ton.
Oh, you've really already come out with some bangers today, haven't you? Penguins, just like dinosaurs.
Well, they are.
You know, when I walked in to start this podcast, let's just say none of this gear was set up. And we went through a few hiccups where Alex was like, oh, why isn't this going? Why isn't this working? Oh, shit, we're going to have to take it all back. He hadn't turned the bloody mics on. And I think there's a couple of other things he just slightly missed as well. So, you know, we all have our moments.
Dude, when I tell you I don't know what I'm doing, I mean, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, but that's why you have me round. Someone's got to keep you on the
No,
straight and narrow.
I'm telling you.
Not that I'm that straight, but...
Straight as a roundabout.
Yeah, I like that. Straight as a roundabout. Or like a wiggly noodle.
A curly whirly? Do you have those here?
Whirly.
Oh, mate.
Oh, mate.
No. Curly whirly. So it's like... I'm getting off on a tangent. Caramel. But they like curl it round, so it's like a little bit of a squiggle, and they put this thin layer of chocolate on it, but it's hard caramel, so you got to really like bite into it. However, it gets warmed up, right? Because most of us are.
So what's the appeal of it, though? It just sounds like caramel and chocolate.
Yeah, but it's curly whirly.
Oh, so that's how they get you with marketing? They're like, yep, have a standard, very regular sweet thing, but it's in a fun shape. I mean, to be fair, I did buy dinosaur-shaped biscuits.
Yeah, and we bought
pasta.
silly mugs. You know what I mean?
You bought silly mugs.
Yeah, I bought silly mugs. Don't ask how much I pay for them.
And my favourite mug has a butt on it, so it actually is shaped like a butt.
Oh.
So you could have done a lot better, but
Yeah,
it's okay. I'll take it. Keep your head up. But you need that mug today.
Yeah. I can't adult any day.
No, you can't. Just like your time management.
You just wait to roast me. As soon as we push a button, you're like,
now that
"Fuck
is
this
a podcast I would get on.
What, roasting me?
We could really intentionally roast the fuck out of each other.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Oh, like the don't laugh?
That's how I
Like
truly express love.
Thanks, darling.
Gotcha.
How would I look with green hair?
I mean, how would you look with ginger?
Why'd you bring that up?
It's because what you already have.
Oh. I've just not been in the sun.
I think you're still ginger. Just to clarify, I have no problem with gingers.
Oh,
I
do you think?
love ginger. this one is in denial that he's a ginger.
Both me parents aren't blonde.
Yeah, neither are you.
I'm not laughing.
I'm laughing.
That's not matters then, innit?
Yeah, I think you suit ginger better than green. But I'm happy to dye your
More
hair
than likely.
green. My hair's practically green now.
That's why I brought it up.
What colour should I go next, though?
I think pink. Yeah, or like that burgundy type thing. It was kind of cool. It caught on. Too many people did it though. It was like
you really imagine me with pink hair though.
No, what? That's why I kind of want to see it.
Maybe when I get a mohawk, a pink mohawk,
Oh.
or a pink mullet.
I'll tell you what.
That I can fuck with.
I'll tell you what the fashion is like in this country.
Right. Excuse me. Remember who you're dealing with. Don't go bagging on my fashion.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying the entire country. I'm stereotyping to a motherfucker right now. It's like 1980s Germany. You know in school when you get those textbooks and you're in German class? But
No.
I was in a poor school, right? So you get all this
Yeah, I
shit
went to
hand-me-downs.
alternative schooling. We just did fucking colouring in a lot of the time.
Oh,
Great school though. Socially, I am well rounded.
an alternative school. Is that what they call it?
Well, it's just slightly different curriculum. And it applied absolutely fabulously for primary school, but actually, to give the school credit, we got pretty fucked over with the earthquakes. So I think that threw everything out of whack.
Yeah, man. Like, that's something completely new to me. Natural disasters.
What, you've never felt an earthquake?
Well, no, I'm from fucking Manchester. Like, the only natural disasters
I don't know.
are people, right? We have to worry about knives and shit. The city blowing up from IRA or terrorism. We don't have to worry about fucking the ground shaking.
Yeah, well, to be fair, we didn't have to either. I remember hearing on the news after it happened that Christchurch had not been mapped as a concern for the
Really?
earthquakes.
Bloody hell.
And the irony of that first earthquake is that I think it was based out in Darfield, but where my street was on, and just poor fucking luck that our street and our houses all lined up directly on a smaller fault line underneath it. So when the big fault went, that ripped our fault in half.
Yep.
So along our entire line of houses in my street, on the right side of the street, it just split in half. I had a 2-meter hole in my house.
Fuck.
I had to jump a meter gap to get my sister out because we thought the roof was collapsing on her. It's pretty spicy stuff. So yeah, I don't really feel like I can be too mad at the school or the Times because
No, hell no.
we were all a bit fucked at that point.
Yeah, hell no. Like, you can't prepare for something like that as well. You know, you can have all the preparation in the world, but at the end of the day, like, Mother Nature's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, and it did. And the irony, which I've talked to so many people about, is, you know how they always say I was always a super anxious kid and super messy, and I mean, a lot of shit went down, but everyone always said, oh, you know, when everything gets too much, find your grounding. Put your feet on the ground, you know, like stomp it down, put your feet in, and the ground will hold you steady, right? And so that was the one thing I leaned into. And I've always been into heights even before the earthquakes. So I was more comfortable at, you know, the top of a building. That brings me more ease. Seeing everything really small makes me feel really fine. Each to their own. But yeah, I did try that grounding thing, and I remember getting into that. And then when the earthquake started happening, it's like, well, fuck. You know, what can you lean into? Because I love being up high, but that's not something that you can necessarily get grounding from per se. And so I was I think 13. Don't quote me on that. When the first one happened, and so there at 13, when everything fucking is flipping upside down as is, that happened. And then I was like, well, what the fuck are you supposed to ground into when the one thing you're told to trust has literally just fallen apart from under you? And we couldn't even get it back into our house. Yeah, it was pretty wild times, and I think I often don't give it credit for its effect on me. And like for school as well, we went to school in town, so town was closed. And then for it to finally start settling down again, not that my anxiety did. I couldn't shower for fucking 6 months without having a panic attack. So I was so terrified of the idea of being found naked in a pile of rubble. That was my specific fear. Can you tell I was 13? And then when the February quakes happened and town fell apart and we lost a lot of people in Christchurch, like fuck, that'll throw you
Yeah.
for a loop.
The memorial they built though is beautiful.
Yeah, I actually only went and had a look at it maybe a year ago or something like that. Because I've got quite a few friends that lost people, and yeah, it's pretty hefty stuff. And I think as well we can get really caught up in countries where like our cities are a little bit more developed and that sort of thing, and you kind of miss that. But when a natural disaster happens, you realize everyone's compromised by that.
Yeah,
No matter
everyone's
who you
vulnerable.
are, doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter your fucking social standing. It doesn't, and you really have to feel for the people that don't have enough in the first place because you're just completely struck out. Um, but also in that, I think one of the most beautiful things we got to witness was like people coming together from it. And everyone coming together. Again, didn't matter where you were from, but like on streets, people would be coming together and trying to fucking dig liquefaction out of your mate's property. And my family was really blessed, even though we lost our house and quite a bit of our stuff got lost with those earthquakes. We got there was like a little worker's house at one of my family's properties, so we got to move in there for a year. And move straight into somewhere rather than, I have a lot of friends that had to jump between hotels and motels and just get stuck. And it was just the craziest time. And it's surreal because that's over 10 years ago now.
The sense of community that's like built from stuff like that blows my fucking mind.
Same thing with adversity though. You look at anyone that's been through anything really, any big shit and dealt with it. There are people that certainly go through stuff and shut down, and I think that's a valid response as well. But the people that choose to go through that and still try to find the joy out of that, or a few years down the line, they're the most interesting people and the kindest. And I have so much space to hold for anyone that has managed to fight their way out of the dark or come out better out of something difficult.
I heard a quote this week.
Hmm.
It's about a guy who went to go see like a therapist, right? Because he thought he was going insane. And the therapist turns around and was like, "It's okay to go insane as long as you come back."
Yeah, I've been there many times.
Well, people try and fight it, right? I was like, no, I can't feel that. I can't do these things because it's a lash out or whatever, and they try and hold it in, and the weight of the world just comes within one human being. I was like, you can't hold that, man.
Yeah, but I do think there's an element of sometimes you're not ready. I was actually talking with a friend yesterday because I'm currently writing a book kind of on this topic. And one of the things we were talking about was how, right, like you can have all the stuff and you can be so angry at it.
Yeah.
And then you come out of it, right, and you see other people in it. And if they can get through those first few obstacles, like get through that anger and just feel it and deal with that, and I guess it's up to them how long they want to sit in that. But if they can then make the decision to move out of it, they'll go a long way. But you can't go to someone who's not ready to process that, or is still just angry and doesn't see any hope, and feed them off like, these really are the things that will make a difference. You've got to wait until people want to make that change. Because for years, I was so filled with anger. And frankly, there's still a lot of anger in me. I'm not very good at releasing anger from the trauma I've experienced. But at some point, it kind of clicked over and I was like, no, I don't want to make excuses for it. I don't want to be a victim of my own bullshit. I don't want to, like lean into the narrative that I created about what I suffered through or the hand I was dealt. I was like, no, I can change that to an element. And it sucks all these things happen, but I'm really the only one that can then move past it.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta get sick of your own bullshit, man. We've all been through shit, whether it's like, on the grand scheme of things, something very small or something extremely huge. Like, you've got to you can't use that as an excuse anymore.
No, for a little while. I
Yeah.
think there's a valid, like, almost a grieving period, right? To be able to
100%.
just be like, well, fuck this shit, you know? But if you can start, I think, building that resilience against it earlier, when more stuff comes up in life, which I am starting to learn. I feel so ripped off that when I was a kid, everybody's like, oh, when you're an adult, everything gets better. And there hasn't been a single year yet where I haven't been tripped by some really big shit. And I'm starting to realize that's just what life is, right? And we keep living and striving and surviving through the crap just for those little moments. You know, those like crisp little moments where you're like on the floor belly laughing with someone over the stupidest thing, or biting into a meal that like explodes your taste buds, or you know, fucking getting to the top of a mountain and being like, holy shit. Or sitting down in a studio that you've been dreaming up for ages, right?
Don't talk about that, man.
But they're the moments that you're here for. And if you can push through the shit like you have done, that's what you're here for.
We both done it, man. We both done it. I think that's why we bonded so quickly. You know what I mean?
Straight off the bat. Well, it was just an Instagram message, and then since then it's like, you know, how probably every 2-3 weeks we're catching up for coffees and 3-hour fucking life yarns.
Yeah. You wanted to come do a podcast. I'm like, listen, man, we can't do this over Zoom.
Yeah.
We can't do this over Zoom.
We're going to be sitting here in person and just shooting the shit is what you say, right?
Shoot the shit, man. Sit the fuck down, shoot the shit, get a coffee, and a booch.
A booch?
I do have a discount code, actually, but I can't remember it. Story of my life. For June. I think it's June. I can't remember.
Yeah, you'll need to chuck that in.
I need like a PA, man.
Practically your PA. Your PA, your artist, your tech advisor.
No, Alex, don't walk that way. Why? Because you're gonna walk off the edge of a cliff. Like don't do that.
Yeah, but it's funny when I show up into Alex's life, I feel like he was on a trajectory, right? And you just need something to ground you. So I have very keenly taken on that role of your tough love New Zealand mama and be like, man. Sit the fuck down, Alex, and have a nap. Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Because you're on a trajectory, and I don't think you recognize it enough.
No, man. Like, no, I've had a lot of reflection over the past few weeks. Especially, like, as soon as we came in here and you brushed the wall, I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is going on, man? Like, this started off with people just expressing their life issues to me as a coach, right? They would just come to me and just kind of unload. I'd be like, oh, fuck, okay. I don't know how to help you not put your head in a noose again. Obviously, I didn't tell that to them, but I was like, well, let's talk about it. And I'd just give them a time of day, and we'd just talk and shoot shit. And they would leave a little bit better, and I'd get a message, hey, that really helped, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. I don't know if it helped, but I thank you, appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. And then I would just connect with them, shoot the shit, and every time they came in, make sure they crack a smile, send them a message or whatever, and then, it gets to you. I've only got 24 hours in a day and working fucking 4 jobs and everything, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, well, how am I supposed to do this, man? Like, if I spend half an hour with someone, that's one person. I'm like, that's fantastic. But I'm getting a hell of a lot of them come to me. And I'm 16, I'm 21, I'm 25, whatever. I don't know what to do, man. And then...
But I don't think there's anything that you really have to do. I think in how you've flowed, especially in the last few years, that shows enough to your character that you're just the sort of person that just your presence is enough to help settle people down.
I appreciate that a lot. I don't know why. Maybe because I feel how they feel. I do pick up on it. I'm an extremely empathetic person, and I'll feel that, and I'll be like, fuck, this person can't feel that.
You also make an effort, though. I think that's all anyone's
that's normal, right?
Really. I don't know about nowadays. I think a lot of us get so caught up in our own issues. I don't know if you've dealt with this, but the amount of times I've gotten into holes with mental health, and one of the things that's helped me get out, and I will acknowledge that sometimes it's not been always in the healthiest way, helping someone else and supporting someone else out of something has reminded me of like the joy in life and why I'm here. And I've just embraced the fact, like partially one of my tattoos, like that I'm the lighthouse in my life, right?
Yeah.
And that I'm meant to be here to guide to an extent. I've just had to learn how to balance that with care for the lighthouse.